Yeah, I had to wait for 3 months to get them.
All right, kia ora everyone, and welcome to the Community Board meeting for the Waimāero Fendalton-Waimairi-Harewood Community Board for Monday, the 6th of May, starting at 4:31 p.m. To begin, we'll start with our karakia. So we invite everyone to stand and karakia. It's just up on the board. It's
Kia mā kina kina ki uta, kia mā tara tara ki tai, e hea he ana te aotakura, he tio he hunga, he hauhunga, te hei.
Thanks, everyone. So moving to item 1, apologies. We have an apology for Linda Chen, and we also have an apology for lateness for David Cartwright. Could we even move it? Thanks, James. And a seconder is Trish. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Any against? Carried, which takes us to item 2 for declarations of interest. We haven't received any, but if there are any come up, just let us know throughout the agenda. And then for item 3, confirmation of previous minutes. Do I have a mover and second? Thank you, Jason, to move. And was it Nicola to second? All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Any against? No, carried, which takes us to item 4 for public forum. So first up, we have Alexandra Bogdavona. Is that how I say your last name?
Bogdanova.
Oh, thank you. Well, if you would both like to come, as Amy as well, if you'd like to come to the table, we would love to hear what you have to say for public forum. So public forum is an opportunity for you to speak for 5 minutes. We aren't in a position. Oh, you're welcome to take a seat. Yeah, nice. Yeah, we know a little bit about why you're here and your mahi, but we'd love to hear it from you.
All right. So we're with the New Zealand Broadcasting School. We're journalist students, and later on this month, actually the 15th of May,
I think so, yeah.
we're basically launching a student radio that we're going to be sort of reporting news on that is happening locally, and we're in particular interest with this area, like with the wards and the wards surrounding it. So basically after contacts, hopefully that will sort of point us in the right direction of talking to people around the community to let their voices be heard on our radio station.
Yeah, so both of us live in this area. I'm in Maryvale. Alex is in Burnside, and so it's quite easy for us to just be able to reach out feelers, and yeah, we're hoping to hear about kind of things that are happening locally, some issues that are going on, and be able to pop those out to an audience that's around about 30, early 30s is kind of the main target audience, but you'll get younger listeners on the radio, older listeners on the radio, and hoping to spread the word about things that are going on and any issues that people can help with. And yeah.
Oh, very cool. Are there any questions for Amy and Alex? Yeah, Nicola.
So for the radio station, have you got a set time that you're broadcasting, or?
At this stage, we are not so sure. We will be in charge of news bulletins. Are we sure?
We're not sure what time we're going to be on as journalists, sort of like more fluid, whenever, like,
Is it?
I think it's 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. that is going to be hosted by the radio. Yeah, they delegate it within like the radio students. There's about like 20 of them, and they all work collectively onto it together to.
Yeah. And us first year journos are in charge of the news bulletins for
radio.
For it. So we will be,
focusing on this.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Get our chance to write our own little stories and
Okay.
about it. Yeah.
That's great.
Jane. Yes, Trish.
Is it just radio, or do you also have blogs? Because previously I think you did some video blogs through your website.
Yeah, on the second years are in charge of what's called Metro News, which is the TV, and then they can write little stories and pop that out. But it's becoming a bit more fluid in terms of the production, so we can pitch our own ideas, whether we want to do podcasts or things like that. Probably more getting into next year.
Yeah.
But this year it's probably more just radio news bulletins. But yeah, next year it's definitely branching out a lot more. So, yeah.
Amazing. A question and a comment. So what's the name of the radio station? Because I know that's sort of part of the process for the broadcasting students.
Baseline 96.1.
Oh, good,
Yeah.
good name. Good.
Yeah, so
We
the
love
R&B, soul, funk,
all that
music
stuff.
is
I love that.
on there, which is pretty cool.
Oh, great. And we've got a few people in the gallery who we know that it'd be really helpful to have connection with. So we've got Aaron and Natalie and Lisa as well. So these incredible humans are really connected in the community. And so, yeah, what we could do is we could maybe swap contact information. So
that'd be great.
you need to know what's going on in the community. You've got their contacts as well. Yeah, oh, don't worry about that. The time's up. No. Thank you so much for coming along. It's so nice to
Having
meet
us.
you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we look forward to working more with you in the future.
Of course, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Right, thank you.
All right, next up is Linda Goodrick from the Belfast Community Network. Kia ora, Lynn.
Kia ora.
How are you?
First off, thank you. I'm alive and kicking, and thank you very much for your card and gift. It's really appreciated. So here I am. I'll probably fall asleep in half an hour, so I'm glad it's only 5 minutes. So I'm just here. I think some of you have probably seen my email regarding pump track in Sheldon Park. So we've been approached by a resident particularly, but I also know of my own grandchildren using Sheldon Park. The 2-year-old is a bit rough on the old skate park on his balance bike. So to get something like this in the park, I think would be so good, particularly as the school that's still on the old site is for the younger children. So I think that's, so there'll be 500 children there by within the next 5 years of that age group. So I think it would be, if we could start some conversation, and I want to thank Natalie and Lisa and Aaron, Jason for sort of having a bit of a conversation through email at the moment about it. So yeah, that's what I've come to do, is to ask the board to, if there's any way they can support the next step to have something else in our cool park for our little E's.
Okay. Well, so with public forum, we're not in a position, Linda, to make decisions, but this is something that we could look into.
Think about.
Yeah, think about, and then just
Yes.
keep you in the loop with Aaron and Jason.
Yeah.
And also Natalie and Lisa as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, most of them are request advice.
Yeah, request advice. I mean, I don't want to speak on behalf of the board. Does the board want to hear anything else or any other specifics for Linda?
No, I think that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Linda, for coming along, and we're really glad you're here and
Okay.
feeling better.
All good.
Only 5 minutes to drive home.
Yeah.
Wait. Good. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if I don't get an email tonight, for a car, over the wheel.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, thank you.
Bye, Linda.
All right, moving on to item 5, deputations by appointment, which there were none. Item 6, presentation of petitions. We did not receive any, which takes us to item 7 for the submissions committee. So the submissions committee was held on the 8th of April, and this is just confirming the minutes. So if we would like to have a move-in seconder for that, thanks, Jason, and a seconder. Thank you, Nicola. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Any against? No, carried. Which takes us to item 8, governance matters and election of a chairperson. So before we get into this, obviously, I know that when was it? Last week, Wednesday, it was a very, very thoughtful moment with the councillors and the mayor and all the staff. And I said a few words then, but I just thought I would reiterate some of these points before we move into the procedure. So with mixed emotions, just to announce the decision to step down from my role as chair of the board. So this decision has not been made lightly, but rather with a profound sense of gratitude and a deep-seated belief in the power of nurturing leadership within our community. One of the driving forces behind my decision is the desire to provide other dedicated members of our community board with the opportunity to step into leadership roles and to further their growth and development. Throughout my time as chair, it has been evident that we possess a wealth of talent and passion within our board, and it is only fitting that we create space for others to flourish. And I think it's wonderful within our board that the position of chairperson is not a pedestal, but a rotating platform of collective empowerment. So I want to take this moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to each and every member of the board, to the incredible governance team, and all of the staff involved in making the chair role be one of such joy and such a privilege to be a part of. It's been an absolute privilege to work alongside such dedicated and passionate individuals who share a common vision of building a stronger, more vibrant community. So thank you so much for putting your trust in me over these last 3 years. And yeah, it's been a real pleasure. So thank you. So at this point, I'm going to pass it on to Marianne, who's going to go through the formalities. And do I step away?
Have you renamed him?
Oh my gosh, so emotional. Okay. I cried all last week, so I've used all my tears up for that now. Oh, maybe now. Oh, okay. Okay, bye.
Thank you, Bridget. Okay, we'll move into the item, and first we'd like the board to consider which voting system that they would like to use.
Receive the resignation.
We have to receive Bridget's resignation. I think we've probably done that. And look at what voting option you would like to use, system A or B, if somebody has a preference.
B, don't we? So, yeah.
So you'd like to
You have to be moved.
B?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Go with B, Aidan. And I would like to now call for nominations for a chairperson.
I'll nominate Jason Middlemas.
Yep. Happy to second.
Okay, I'll just check. Are you happy to accept that nomination?
Yes, thank you.
Are there any other nominations? No? Well, in that case, I think we'll put that to the vote. All those in favour of electing Jason Middlemas as the new chairperson?
Aye.
Against? Congratulations. So, we do have a little declaration for you to come up and make, and John Fussell is here on behalf of the chief executive to sign.
Yeah. So there's two copies, one for you to take away and one for us to keep.
Okay, on the right day.
I'm signing here. Signing here. So there was, should have nicer handwriting,
Yeah.
Unfortunately. I haven't signed it yet. Yeah, I'm gonna put my name in first and then I'll read it out, don't worry.
See if you can get it all out in one sentence.
One's not easy. Oh, I'm not versed enough to speak that long. I, Jason Middlemas, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interests of the Fendalton-Waimairi-Harewood community the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as chairperson of the Waimāero Fendalton-Waimairi-Harewood Community Board by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act. Dated Christchurch on the 6th day of May 2024. All good.
Thank you. Natalie, have you taken a picture?
I was trying to, I think that's the only one that was fuzzy.
You like the back of my head shot, you got the other way.
Do you like go up? Oh,
Thank you very much. Just before we start, just quickly like to say a couple of things as well. I'd like to echo Bridget's sentiments around the support over the last 18 months as deputy from the board and Marianne and the team. It's been invaluable in terms of learning how the process works and trying to fulfill the duties as best we can. So I appreciate that support and the confidence placed in me to carry out the role. So thank you very much, guys. Moving on to.
We need to elect.
Oh, the green bit, yes. All right.
So nominate Bridget. Am I?
Yes. Yep. Thanks, James. So nominations for a deputy chair, and we've received a nomination from James for Bridget. Are there any other nominations?
To second. You have to second.
No other nominations, and that one's seconded by Suresh. So with that, all those in favour? Aye. Against? None. Carried. Congratulations, Bridget.
Thanks.
Deja vu.
They'll put the remainder of the submissions committee.
Yes, yes.
On the screen if you like.
Yes, please. Right. Okay, so just for the rest of this part, I'd like to move that we appoint, do we have to go for nominations for that one, or can we just, we can just appoint? Okay. Yeah, okay, just like to move that we appoint Nicola McCormick as the chair of the Community Board Submissions Committee. Could I have a seconder for that, please?
Shall we put the other 6 and 7
Oh,
as well?
we'll roll them all up,
Roll
okay.
them all up.
And also, yeah, resolve that the chair of the submissions committee in consultation with the remaining submissions committee members may prepare and adopt submissions on minor consultations, and also number 7 there as well. If you read through that, resolve the minutes of the submissions committee meeting confirmed by the chair following each meeting. So could we have a mover for those 3 items there, please? Thank you. And a seconder?
I have a second.
Thank you, second. All in favour?
Right.
Against? Carried. Right, that finishes that one off. So now we can move on to item number 9
Happy to move.
on the agenda. Impose no stock and restrictions, Enemy Drive and Beechwood Drive. Up to
Happy to move.
come up. Happy to move, thank you.
Very good.
Yeah, I'll second. It's pretty straightforward.
As well. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Georgia?
No, I'm happy if you guys.
Happy? I'll just like to think we're aware it's your last meeting with us here, so thank you for your time putting up with us and working through doing all the hard work that you have. So
Yeah, thanks.
appreciate it very much. Thank you.
No worries.
Moving to warmer territories.
Yes, yeah, I'm going to Perth, so much warmer.
So we've got Aaron to move that, and so who was seconding there? James second. All in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried.
Cool, thank you.
Thanks very much. Number 10. Right, moving on to number 10, the Better Off Fund applications for consideration. Jane?
Well, hello.
So we're happy to take the report as read, and Karen and Lisa are here to answer any questions, or there may be one or two from mine that I might answer, but go for it.
Jane?
Just in relation to the athletics track in Fendalton, would you see any reason why you would be adverse if I were to move an amendment that we up it by $10,000 to the amount requested of $50,000?
Might depend on budget.
About 20,000 main.
I don't think, I can't see why not. No.
Okay.
Does anyone have any other comments on any of the items there? No?
Wow.
Okay.
Should I mention the license? You've done it? Sweet.
Okay.
Job.
media.
That in mind, so we're moving that to 53.
Well,
Please.
do you mind, then there's no point doing an amendment or anything. Can I move the staff recommendations except with a slight alteration to,
Number 3.
Fendalton Park athletics activation of
0.3.
50,000, which is the amount requested. So with that, I'm happy to move it.
Okay, do we have a seconder for that?
Second.
Seconder?
The reason being, just very briefly, if I may, Mr. Chair, it's just, we don't want to run the risk of if you don't, lose it if it's not used. It's also a really great group, a great cause. It's going to be a well-used facility, and they're really well organised, kept us involved. So I think it's a positive project that we should, get behind it. I know we're all enthusiastic about it. So to help them do this, seems like a great use of this fund.
Okay, yeah, I haven't heard any reason why we shouldn't do that from anyone else around the table, so how about we go with that? Then we have a seconder for James's motion, Suresh. Right, all in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thanks very much. Thank you very much for all the hard work on that one.
All right, that'll be relieved.
The community groups will be thrilled to find out those amounts, so yeah, I'd be super keen to hear any of their feedback.
You're not you for.
Yeah, just trying to scroll through. It's my views. Moving on to the item number 11, the discretionary response fund.
Happy to move.
Happy to move. We'll let you sit down at least.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any discussion on the discretionary response fund? Anything they want to raise? No? Okay, we'll take Aaron's move.
It's obviously a co-funding, because they're not technically in our ward, but obviously people are, and they do great work.
Yeah.
Can we have a seconder for that, please?
Happy to second.
Suresh, okay, great. All in favour? Aye. Against? Carried. Thank you very much, Natalie. Item number 12, the community board area report. Mary Ann.
Thank you. Look, I'm happy to take the report as read. You do have all 3 advisors in the room if there's any questions on any of the items on the report, but I think it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, so we are going to kick off the school principals meeting again. Yes.
I had a really good response from them, actually. They're all really keen, so we'll look at some dates. Karen's carrying on looking at that, but
Are you thinking of a daytime meeting or combined with the board meeting?
no, I think what's come out of the results was that very early morning meetings still seems to be what suits them the best for the principals. Was that? No, that was like during
During school time.
Yeah.
Yeah, during lunch.
Yeah.
During school
Yeah.
time.
As long as they have enough lead-in time.
Doesn't
that works better
necessarily
for them.
suit all of you.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It has to suit them,
Yeah.
more importantly. Yeah.
Yeah. I can-
Well, we'll certainly make sure it doesn't clash with council meetings or anything like that, so. But, we'd like to get one kind of on the agenda pretty quickly, so, we'll let you know as soon as we can for a potential date.
Thank you.
Quick question for me around the Orohuria Hall. I actually surprised how nice it is on the inside, because I haven't seen any pictures on the inside. Is there any way we can, with that, them coming into our area, try and promote that and get more use of that throughout our ward? Or is it primarily like the resident space for that? Or primarily based on the other side of town over there?
Natalie, did you, Aurelia Hall? Remote.
Yeah, like is there any way we can kind of support the awareness of that and the usage of that any more than we do already?
Well, we don't really do much support because they do enough. It's reasonably well utilised.
Okay.
It's like your traditional community hall, so the school use it and locals have a few things. It's actually got a bit of a reputation for hosting 20-person weddings because you're actually allowed alcohol in quite a lot of our facilities, and it's got a big grassy one. So I can check in and double check if they want any help with advertising beyond what they're doing already. But yeah, I think they were quite happy with what they were getting. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Anyone else, anything else?
Is it out there under?
Off Marshland Road, so down by the reserve there, the schools around there and the borders on the opposite side. So the kids actually have to cross Marshland Road to get to the wall if they walk there, but I know, well, I've done a few gigs there over the years.
Right, I'll move the the area report. If we have a seconder for that. Aaron, thank you very much. All in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thank you very much. Moving on to number 13, elected members information exchange. Anyone like to kick it off? Aaron, you maybe want to just have a quick chat and catch up with Matt potentially?
Yeah, so Jason and I met with Matt Ducey and a number of residents down at Northwood and not near the railway line. We, for health and safety reasons, met a few hundred metres away. There's no trains at the time, but and I'd gone for a tour through there with Phil Major a few weeks earlier, which was quite good timing. So update on the crossing is the Coyote from Kiwi Rail said we were okay to go ahead and do the shared path, which is contrary to what we get told at council by staff, but we're okay to go ahead and do it. We just can't do, and you could widen the road there, so the asphalt wider, but you can't put in any safety measures because that would encourage people to go there. And you can't do anything that triggers a change because they have no at-level crossings is the rule. So that you can't do it anywhere, but because there's already a road there, widen the asphalt and then you can do the paths up to either side. So technically you can get away with it, but you can't actually do it. So, and Matt heard it all. And I said to the guy, and I asked him like 3 times, can we definitely put the path in? And he's like, yes, you can, but you can't do you can't, because we asked about the safety barriers, you know, the Opal, we've seen the videos for, can't do those because they won't allow them anywhere. Go figure.
Yeah, but we did get a little bit of clarity in terms of from Kiwi Rail, like some of their thoughts on what we could do. So it does like one of the potential blockers we thought was there might have been removed.
Yeah.
So
yeah, so it's and I'll pass that on to Jacob in our transport team, he has contacted someone he knew at Kiwi Rail. We knew nothing about the meeting, so luckily I gave him the right guy's name, and it might happen. So I've asked that it can get moved forward because the board had moved it forward a couple of years ago to be done, like last year or this year, and staff had put it off because Kiwi Rail didn't say yes, and now Jacob said they can do it within a year in their current works because it's not that big a job and it's already on budget. So let's see what happens.
Anyone got anything else from the community you'd like to want to raise? Yeah, Nicola?
I recently attended the Airport Noise Liaison Committee meeting, and we just had a bit of interesting discussion about recent noise complaints from the airport, which is obviously quite common, more so in Sam and Sharish and our area because we're right by the airport. But just some common feedback that came out of that. A lot of people, have an issue with noise, but then when they find out what the reason is for, like recently, one of the runways was had maintenance for the first time in I think a couple of years. So that's why they use the other runway. Sam and Sharish might have noticed planes coming the other way. And once people know that, they're fine. They know so it's just getting that information out there. So we're trying to work out other ways we can share that information and get it out to the public before things like that happen. So it was actually really interesting. Either you like the noise or you love it, or you don't. I love it too.
Very similar comment about the noise because the F-16s for the warbirds of Wanaka were taking off from here. And when people knew it, next day it was crowded because people went to see them.
Right. So, and it's funny because actually when that happened, there were no complaints about the war, none about the F-16s, but that's because there'd been a lot of information put out to the public prior to that. So just little things like that. So,
that's why it's the bottom.
Pardon? Exactly. That's right.
Nothing, just to keep the board up to speed, just Jason and I presented our submission for the LTP last week, along with all the other boards. But just to keep everyone up to date, that's what we did. So thanks for all your feedback and all the contributions to the submission.
Yeah, I'd say James and Sam, just real quick, is there any kind of general takeaways of some of the submissions you've seen so far, like general trends you're seeing or anything worth still too early?
Yeah, we've got another full week this week.
Yep.
I think we got tomorrow through till Saturday.
Yep.
So another 150 or 200 to hear this week.
Okay.
No, but it's just consistently inconsistent, I guess. As in you get quite contrasting views, and it's just the nature of it. So some people think that rates are too high, other people think, SEP's completely comfortable with it. People completely opposed to art centre funding, given the model, others that think, plenty that think it should be given, so that's just the nature of it.
Okay. Great. Oh, if there's nothing else, Aaron, one more.
One more, Case Aiden's got an update for us on the requested meeting on Johns Road between the school, our transport staff, NZTA. We've got a date for that.
Don't have a date, but I've heard from another source that maybe the handover might be a bit sooner than we thought.
Okay.
Which might then make it.
Did they have a date on the handover?
I'll go back and let you know after the meeting, yeah.
Okay.
I think I did have one somewhere.
If you could follow up on the date of that on-site meeting would be good, because my preference would be that we get the changes made. And Matt Ducey was keen to come along as well, because he's on board, that we get the changes made before NZTA hand it over, because then they're paying.
Yeah.
And they pay 100% of state highways. That's the better option. And Jason and I have received an email on requesting what's happening with the stormwater along there. So if you're doing a follow-up, Aidan, if you could find out what's happening at the stormwater swale on the new development side. So, Charlotte was asking about that. So
I'll follow up on those.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. With that, we'll stand for the final karakia and then we'll meeting. Una here, una here. Oh, not up here. Sorry, I'm reading off the bottom. Yeah. We all know that, surely by now. Una here.
Una here, ki te uru tapanui, kia wātea, kia mama, te nuko, te tinana, te wairua, I te ara takata, hoi ara e rongo, whakakairia ake ki roka, kia tina, huie, taike.
Cool. Very good. Right, and with that, we will announce meeting closed at 5:03 PM.
Thanks, Jason.